Sunday Mass. Pope Francis greeting the crowd from the balcony following the main service.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buona Pasqua.
Dear brothers and sisters, happy Easter.
The pontiff, through an interpreter there, still, by the way, recovering from double pneumonia that nearly killed him. Vice President J.D. Vance briefly meeting with the Pope today inside the Vatican during the Easter Mass. The American Civil Liberties Union gets a win in their ongoing efforts to stop the Trump White House use of an 18th century wartime law.
The U.S. Supreme Court is temporarily pausing the deportation of Venezuelan migrants held in northern Texas under the Alien Enemies Act. This after the group filed an emergency appeal, arguing they were not given a chance to fight their removal. The court is also ordering the Trump administration to respond after a Louisiana appeals court weighed in. Conservative justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas dissented.
And that is Fox's Chanley Painter. The ruling coming over a week after the Supreme Court unanimously called for the Trump White House to bring back Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an illegal immigrant living in Maryland who was deported back in March to his home country of El Salvador. The Virginia Department of Health reporting its first official measles case of the year as the outbreak continues to spread across the U.S. According to the CDC numbers, there have been close to 800 confirmed measles cases in the U.S. so far this year, vastly surpassing 285 from 2024. Former California Congresswoman and progressive Democrat Barbara Lee declaring victory as the new mayor of Oakland, California. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Nothing too severe. You've got cloudy skies and 56 degrees here on Monument Circle. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 11:03. As the state goes through the work week, conditions in the forecast will be quiet.
Except for some stronger breezes on Monday. It'll be quiet Monday through Wednesday, and as we get later in the week, that's when we could look at maybe some showers and some more organized rain that could have some stronger downpours.
Alexander McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says Tuesday and Wednesday will be drier and warmer than Monday. Showers are possible Thursday and Friday in Indiana. Hendricks County deputies arrived at a home on a county road in Pittsboro. They say Nicholas Johnson was asleep on a floor in a person's home. Officers say Johnson also had alcohol on him, and he was taken to Hendricks County Jail. The Indiana Pacers started their postseason on Saturday with a victory. Here's John Herrick.
What you're hearing there is what the closing seconds sounded like at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Saturday when the Pacers knocked off the Milwaukee Bucks 117-98. 6 players scored in double figures for Indiana. They were led by Pascal Siakam, who had 25. The 36 points the Bucks got from Giannis Antetokounmpo was not enough. The Pacers lead this first-round best-of-7 series 1-0. Game 2 is Tuesday night. Reporting from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
WIBC News Time at 11:04, and now here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For today, mostly cloudy skies. There is only a spotty shower chance this Easter Sunday from mid-morning to early afternoon. Most remain dry. High temperatures getting into the mid-70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
As an IT professional, you have the opportunity to guarantee your data security, participate in 100% landfill-free disposal, and have peace of mind with R2 V3 certifications. Technology Recyclers provides guaranteed complete data destruction, 100% landfill-free disposal, and the certification to back it up. Protect your data while saving the planet. Receive a free pickup of your e-waste from Technology Recyclers. Visit tech-recyclers.com. That's tech-recyclers.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
We wish you happy Easter. May God bless you. Wish you happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you and you and you. He is risen. It is Easter Sunday, and we're glad that you're all here with us today. Us meaning me, Terri Stacy, along with Kylan Talley.
Happy Easter indeed.
Happy Easter indeed. Welcome to the first day here on WIBC. Denny Smith is out today. He's enjoying the Easter celebration with his family, so that's good.
As hopefully you are too, but if not, then happy Easter from our family here at First Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up this hour, this is so cool. Kylan was out this week a little bit, and so I was kind of on my own when it came to taping some great guests for today. It's hard to get guests today on Easter Sunday. It's okay. But coming up this hour, the history of the Easter lily, which I love, with Todd on the Farm, Todd Jameson from Balanced Harvest Farm, it's got a great history, but also how to take care of your Easter lily that you might get today as a gift. But also next hour, I had a conversation last Thursday with Dr. Geraldine Rowling, who is the archivist and curator at the Basilica National Shrine. It's one of the 10 largest churches in the world, and she is the curator of an exhibition called Relics of Jesus. And it is incredible. I didn't think about it, but there are relics of Jesus. So as a Christian, I was completely interested in what they have. And so I had a chance to talk to her. That'll be coming up at 12:15. All right. Now, also, I wanted to mention, a lot of you have been asking about our friend Jersey Johnny, who passed away on April Fool's Day, and wondering what was next. Would there be something that we could all be a part of? And there is going to be a celebration of life for Jersey Johnny May 17th from noon to 2, and it's going to be at the Kurt Vonnegut Museum and Library, which is one of his favorite was one of his favorite places in the world. And so that will be there. They ask you to wear your Colts blue. And in lieu of flowers, in the spirit of John, if you'd like to make a donation, please, to an organization that's close to his heart. His heart is with the Little Sisters of the Poor. Also, the Kurt Vonnegut Museum and Library, or to Indy Honor Flight in memory of the great Jersey Johnny Samasco. It makes me sad to think about him and talk about him, but it should make me happy because we had so many great memories. Mm-hmm. But again, yes, you that have been asking, there is going to be a celebration of Jersey Johnny's life on May 17th, noon to 2.
I appreciate the way that they have gone about it, where it is a true celebration of what he stood for.
Yeah,
his whole life.
Wear your blue. And speaking of celebration, much to celebrate. I know it's just game one. But the Pacers last night, yesterday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Yesterday, Pacers, please, Kylan.
Halliburton with 6 to shoot, dances against Antetokounmpo, gives to Turner, 3 to shoot, step back, 3, left edge, dagger! Turner hits his 4th 3 of the game. Milwaukee takes a timeout. The crowd recognizing the inevitability of the result, rising to its feet. Probably didn't need that Turner 3 anyway, but that definitely sealed it.
Definitely sealed it.
Yeah. I know it's just game one, but they did dominate in game one. Pacers 117-98 against the Bucks. Game 2 at Gamebridge on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And Kylan, we were looking up Pacer tickets to see if we could find any.
There's man, they're going quick.
They're going really fast. They're going very,
few
very
and far
fast.
between.
I'm just looking at StubHub, but there are tickets available, mostly just one seat available. Not two is hard to come by, but they do have them in the $34 range, in the $45 range, $48, $49. I'm looking around the room here, $33, $34, $88, $82, all the way up to one ticket left in the $1,665 seat. And there's just one of those. But there are tickets to be had. I just didn't realize. I thought for sure there would be nothing left, and there's very little left.
Just the singles. We'll take it. Hey, and might as well go.
Yeah,
this
might as well go.
Is possibly, you never know. Maybe we'll get some more home games, but if anything, this is your last one of the season. Act like it. And if you don't get to see it, then again, it'll be on radio. You'll get to hear Mark Boyle on our sister station, The Fan, or you can watch it on TV, FanDuel Sports Network, or NBA TV.
Mark Boyle used to scare me to death.
Dagger.
He used to scare me to death because he's just so great and he was intimidating, but he's really one of my favorite people. I love him, and nobody can call a game like him. Kristen Airy, on the other hand, love him as well, if you're doing the TV thing. Love him.
Terry,
he's
what
great.
are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What is all that sound?
They're Peeps.
Peeps.
These are
Those
Dr.
aren't just
Pepper Peeps.
Any Peeps.
These are Dr. Pepper Peeps. Do you want one?
I don't know if I want to try.
You want to try
yes,
them?
let's
There's
try
all
them.
these new
Let's
Peeps,
try
you know,
them.
while you're all eating your Easter candy.
There are so many that they've gone out with.
I know. Here's a Dr. Pepper. I'm throwing it. Ready? Okay, there's a Dr. Pepper. You ready to try it?
Are you proud
like
of me?
Dr.
I caught
Pepper?
it. Put me in, Coach.
Here
I'm
we
ready
go.
to play for the Sirs.
Oh boy, that's Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
Strong Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, I feel the fizz. How do you put that in a marshmallow?
That's really good, clever. I mean, they really did. Sometimes you only get a hint of a flavor. That's Dr. Pepper. This might be good in your Dr. Pepper. You know, you put this in your Dr. Pepper.
We could make an ice cream float.
I have another one.
And put the Dr. Pepper Peeps in there?
Yeah, we could.
Remember when we did the Dr. Pepper and wine challenge?
Oh, I thought that was good. There's a couple things I want to get to today, including what's happening out at Tuttle's.
Pretty good.
And more. But we've got Bo Rayleigh will be coming up here in just a few minutes. He's not going to like that we're eating this junk. But there was something coming up. Oh, let me just get this open before we get to him. How much time do we have? A few minutes?
Just a couple,
It's
yep.
Easter. Is anybody even really listening to us? I hope you are while you're making your ham, your Easter feast. Here comes up. Ooh, this is a sour watermelon flavored peep. Here it comes. Oh, I'm sorry. I do a very good
Still
job
got
today.
it.
Let's try it. Boy,
It's
smell
got
it
a little
first.
pink inside it. It's green on the outside,
Oh,
pink on the
yeah.
inside. For its little
Boy, does that
watermelon.
smell like a watermelon.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that, though.
Wait a minute.
A watermelon marshmallow.
This one's pretty good. And I do like this one. You like it? Oh, look at your little face.
Oh, it's sour.
You don't love it, do you?
Is it that sour for you?
I think it's pretty good. I really think it is pretty good. Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be finishing that one. But if you want to try some, wait till tomorrow. Get all your Easter candy on sale.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to be getting these Peeps, that's what I recommend.
For sure.
We'll try them for you and rank them at the end.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. Stay through till
If you want to.
1 o'clock. We'll rank them all.
Yeah, if you want to. I hope you can.
That's pretty good.
So anyway, sorry, my mouth is just so full of sugar. If you're worried about your kids eating enough fruit and vegetables,
Eat a watermelon Peep.
You could try spending longer at the table. There's a German study where families took about 10 minutes longer to eat their dinner together, and the children significantly ate more fruits and vegetables just by sitting at the table 10 minutes longer. Kids in the study ate an average of an additional 7 pieces of produce, equal to 1 extra portion, just by leaving them at the table 10 minutes longer. How about that? Coming up, Bo Rayleigh, the founder of Exercise Inc., he's going to weigh in on Governor Braun's executive orders to make Indiana healthy again.
Let's get healthy.
Let's do it. It's 11:14 and 58 degrees and cloudy skies in downtown Indianapolis on this Easter Sunday. Thank you for joining us on 93 WIBC.
This
Nothing's gonna hold me. Rise up. Nothing's gonna hold me back.
It is 11:20. Happy Easter to you and you and you and you. We're glad you're here with us today. Whatever you may be doing, and if you're getting ready for your Easter feast with your family and maybe an Easter egg hunt out in the backyard, we've got mostly cloudy skies today. Just a spotty shower chance this Easter Sunday from mid-morning to early afternoon. But most of us will remain dry and sometimes go back to partly cloudy. It's just that kind of day, but a high temperature today. Pretty nice, maybe 76 or so. Not too bad at all. It is 11:20. As I mentioned earlier, Governor Braun signed this week a package of executive orders to make Indiana healthy again. And joining us on the phone is our friend Bo Raley, the founder of Exercise Inc. Happy Easter, Bo. Thanks for coming on with us for a few minutes. What do you think about this?
I think this is great. Let's make Indiana healthy again, because Indiana is down the list. We're pretty low on the list of healthy states for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. One is obesity. The other is smoking and things like that. I think the governor is on the right track. I think he has some fantastic ideals. I want to talk about some of those ideals. I'm not sure his methodology is going to be the greatest for accomplishing some of his ideals. And that's what I want to talk about. Now, first of all, we're not going to talk about any of the political stuff, the stuff that has to do with the SNAP program and Medicaid. I don't want to get into the weeds on that. I want to talk about 4 of his executive orders that have to do with just improving health in Indiana. One of the things he wants to do is make it easier for us to have access to local food from local farms, which is awesome. He wants to educate on the preventative measures for diet-related chronic illness. Awesome. I talk about that all the time. He wants to talk about harmful food additives. Yes. And he wants to encourage fitness and health in schools. All of those are great. But let's talk about what he's wanting to do and how he's wanting to go about it. Executive Order number 5. He says he wants to address concerns with possible negative effects of food dyes and increase food transparency. We should know exactly what ingredients are in our food and opt for great choices and stay away from artificial ingredients. Yes. But here's where I disagree with what the governor is wanting to do. He's wanting the Indiana Department of Health to conduct a comprehensive assessment of the health impact of artificial food dyes, additives, and prioritize those that are harmful and, educate and try to get them out of foods that are sold in Indiana. We don't need to do a study on this. All the studies have been done. The Indiana Department of Health does not need to spend a dime. I can spend 10 minutes and pull up all the studies that you need to know to tell you what food additives are bad. Now, in the U.S., we have over 10,000 chemicals that are considered additives to the foods that we consume. And they're what's called generally recognized as safe. The FDA looks at these foods and these additives, and they say they are safe. The issue is, when you look at European countries, there are a lot of food additives that have been banned in Europe that are allowed in the U.S. that are not good for us. So I would say, instead of conducting a comprehensive study, just start there. A big one in Europe is potassium bromate. It is considered it's a suspected carcinogen that can cause cancer. So it's banned in Europe, China, India. The United States still uses it, and we use it in hundreds of foods. It's used in breads to strengthen doughs. Brominated vegetable oil, now that's one that we are banning, and it has to be out of foods, I think, by October 25. If you're going to eat a processed food, and a processed food is any food that's in a package that has ingredients, read the food label. If there's an ingredient on a food label that you don't know what it is, and I just gave you examples of 5 of those, then the additives in that food probably aren't good for you, and you probably shouldn't eat them. So I agree with the governor's intent on this. Yes, at this event, Robert Kennedy Jr. was there. Dr. Oz was there. Robert Kennedy Jr. is already getting red dye banned, and he's going after a bunch of the other food additives and dyes, and that is awesome. I'm just saying, I don't think the Indiana Department of Health needs to do the research, because the research has already been done. Let's just look at the research and go with it and start promoting education. Executive Order number 6. He wants the Indiana Department of Health to do a comprehensive study of diet-related chronic illnesses with the goal of empowering Hoosiers to address the root causes of chronic illness through preventative, evidence-based interventions such as nutrition, physical activity, early screening, and disease management. Fantastic. That is great, yes. But again, we don't need to do a study. It's pretty easy to just look up the studies and see what the issues are. There is lots of research, and the data tells us 60% of the American diet is ultra-processed foods. That's the issue. I wrote a blog post, and we talked about it last year, that says ultra-processed foods are linked to 32 different health problems. So we don't need to do a study. We just need to look at the research that's been done and understand the biggest threat to causing somebody to get some type of chronic illness is the ultra-processed foods that we're eating. I think we need to spend the money, again, on education. A big problem is if the government wants to intervene, and maybe I'm overstepping some boundaries here when I say this. If the government wants to intervene in this in some way, I think it's crazy that every checkout line at every store, there are stacks and stacks of ultra-processed foods for us to buy as we're checking out. Maybe we do something to limit the amount of ultra-processed foods that stores can have right at the cash register when you're checking out. They put them right there because they know you're stressed, you're in a hurry, and, oh, there's a candy bar. Okay, I'll just grab that candy bar because I'm hungry, and I'll eat it on the way out the door. But again, the studies, he wants to spend the money on studies. I'm saying the studies have already been done. We just need to look at the studies. The next thing, this Executive Order number 7, I love this one. Increase access to direct consumer food to Indiana local farmers. That is awesome. He wants to make it much easier for us to get, Indiana's rich heritage of local fruits, vegetables, meats, and dairy products. And he wants to remove regulatory infrastructure that keeps farmers from getting their products to us. Yes, but here's what I would say. In 2022, Indiana passed a bill that has to do with Indiana's cottage food vending laws that actually already makes it pretty easy for home-based farmers to sell their products to us. Again, I think where we need to spend our time and money on this is education. Michael Pollan, one of my favorite authors on nutrition, says, shake the hand that feeds you. In other words, go out, meet the farmer, talk to the farmer, and buy at the farmer's market. So now let's go on to Executive Order number 8. This is the last one I want to talk about. The governor wants to establish the Governor's Fitness Test and School Fitness Month to encourage Indiana schools to give Hoosier kids every advantage to reach their full potential to lead healthy lives. Terry, I don't know about this one.
Why?
I like the intent. I like what he's wanting to do. School Fitness Month is awesome. But let's talk about the reality. The reality is 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. are obese. The average kid now spends about 4.8 hours a day on social media. So you want to bring these kids in and do fitness testing at the school and PE class or whatever. When I was a kid, we had the president's fitness test. Did you remember that? Terry, I ended up being a pretty good athlete in high school. But all through grade school, I was just kind of a chubby kid. I couldn't run that fast. I couldn't do any pull-ups. And every year we would have to do the president's fitness test. It was always, for me, and I wasn't an obese kid. I just couldn't do any chin-ups. I couldn't run as fast as the other kids. It was, for me, kind of, it hurt my self-esteem as a kid. I think that in today's world, where 1 in 5 kids are obese, you want to put them through fitness testing in front of their peers every year to show them where they are. I don't think that's the best option for our kids.
I hadn't thought about that.
But what I would say is, having Fitness Month, encouraging kids to exercise, encouraging kids to be healthy and to make healthy choices, absolutely. Again, I think we need to spend the money on education. Now, he didn't put any parameters on what the governor's fitness test would be. It's not out there yet. I just don't think I'm in favor of that. I am in favor of having Fitness Month at school and doing everything we can to educate our kids to get off the screens, get off the phone, get away from the TV, get away from the computer, and get outside and play for 60 minutes a day. Encouragement, education, and this has to start with the parents. The parents have to know they have to be involved in the kids' lives in a way that they get out and play with the kids, and that they make sure the kids are getting out and playing every day for at least 30 to 60 minutes, which most of our kids aren't now. That's my take on it. I love what he's doing. I just don't know if some of his approaches are the best. But we'll see. maybe they will be.
That's our friend Bo Rayleigh from Exercise Inc. Bo, we've got to run, get into the newsroom, but thank you and happy Easter to you and your beautiful family. I appreciate your time today. The news is next, 93 WIBC.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. April's a great time.
working at the Flower and Patio Show, I've had the pleasure of watching and learning from a local flower expert. His name is Todd Jameson, and he and his wife Kathleen own Balanced Harvest Farm in Shelby County. And Todd joins us now because I want him to talk a little bit about Easter lilies. And I'm going to say Happy Easter a little early, Todd. How are you?
Hey, I am wonderful, and happy Easter to you.
Thank you. Tell us, if we'll start with telling us about Balanced Harvest Farm. Tell us about your beautiful farm.
We are a cut flower farm located in beautiful Shelby County, and we sell our flowers May through September at the Carmel, Zionsville, and Broad Ripple Farmers Markets on Saturday and the State House Market on Thursdays.
How long have you been growing flowers?
All my life, believe it or not, and that's a very long time. I was born on the farm and could never quite get it out of my system, and it's my passion. I don't belong to a country club. I don't play games. I dream of growing seeds into beautiful blooming flowers.
If I recall some of our conversations, you did not grow up here in Indiana. You moved to Indiana. Is that right?
That is correct. I am a transplant. I am actually a native son of the Garden State, New Jersey. And I'm always fond of saying, in the same way that we see corn and soybeans in Indiana, in New Jersey, you see ornamental horticulture, both trees and shrubs and greenhouses, as well as vegetable and fruit farms everywhere. So I come from many generations with our feet in the soil.
Tell us about some of the beautiful flowers that you grow, some of your favorites.
I have to say my all-time favorite is the peony. It's not only the state flower, but it is the flower that is just the heartstring to every Hoosier and really to every flower lover. They are just the harbinger of spring for me. And after the peony crop, we start kind of moving off into sunflowers and more of your common garden flowers, and then right on through the fall with beautiful chrysanthemums and all that comes. And then in the winter season, believe it or not, we continue to harvest beautiful blooming crops like pussy willow and flowering quince and forsythia, and that allows us to market all during the winter season as well.
But let's talk about the Easter lily, because Easter lilies have a wonderful meaning behind them, right?
Oh, they certainly do. You know, Christmas has the poinsettia. Valentine's Day has the beautiful red rose. But the Easter lily is named specifically for the wonderful Easter holiday, the purity of the white flower, the beautiful fragrance. It is just a remarkable crop that, believe it or not, was discovered in Japan and then brought over by a plant collector to England in 1819. And by 1880, it was being commercially produced in Bermuda in order to ship the bulbs to the United States to be forced for the Easter season. And when I say forced, it's taking a plant outside its normal growing time and bringing it into bloom or flower specifically for a particular date, which in this case, of course, is our Easter season. And they're sold generally for about 2 weeks every year. So it's a very narrow window that a grower has to take a bulb and get it ready and bring it to full bloom and bring it to the market and into our homes.
The Easter lily, are there different types of lilies? Or is this are all lilies a lily? Just depends on when it blooms.
They are all Lilium longiflorum is the botanical name for the plant. The Easter lily happens to be a specific white type of lily that is grown for the purpose of the Easter season.
And for those that get them maybe for that first time, are they an easy plant to take care of? How do we take care of them?
They really are an incredibly easy plant to have in your home. The things to know is like mama bear, baby bear, and father bear. You don't want it too moist. You don't want it too dry, but you want it just right, kind of an even level of moisture. Keep it in your home in a sunny area. You don't necessarily want it in direct light where the sun is baking it, but it should have exposure to light, and it will continue to bloom until after all of those blooms have dropped. And you may find an Easter lily that has tight buds on it, maybe 1 or 2 flowers open, but then several tight buds, and you may get up to 12 blooms off that very plant.
Wow.
So it's an amazing long-term plant. And then after the frost is done and after the flowers have dropped, and that's generally about the time that we'd be planting tomatoes here in central Indiana, that bulb plant can be moved outdoors into your garden, and it will continue to grow and bloom for years to come.
We take that bulb, as you said, we put it into the ground. It won't grow again until next spring. Is that right?
It will continue to grow over the course of the summer, and what it's doing is sending energy down to the bulb. And then when it goes through the winter season, the bulb will go dormant, of course, and then next spring it will come back up again. Now, when you're growing it here in Indiana, its general period for blooming is July and August. So you won't see it at Easter time, but you will see it next summer.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do then. Instead of just throwing that out, I'm going to try to continue keeping it alive in some sort of way by getting it in the ground. And again, it doesn't want a lot of sun, but it wants a little bit of indirect sun, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, in your garden, it can actually be in full sun. When it's in your house, we want it not in bright light, because the light coming through your window is going to be much stronger and much warmer than it would be out in nature. So keep it in light so that the plant can continue to feed itself after it's bloomed. After the frost is done, maybe when it's time to put your tomatoes out or at race time, plant it in your garden at the same level that it was in the pot. And it will continue to grow through the summer season. You may even get lucky and get a second bloom in late summer. Now, that rarely happens, but it could happen. And then the plant will kind of reset itself. It's not uncommon that the first year that you have it in your garden, it may not bloom. After a plant has been forced, which is, again, taking it out of its natural blooming season, it sometimes takes one season for that bulb to reset itself and get back into the normal calendar that it will thrive on.
Todd Jameson is with us. Balanced Harvest Farm, a cut flower farm located in Shelby County. And the flowers are available at the State House Market and Fort Bend's Farmers Markets and Carmel Farmers Market and Zionsville Farmers Market on Saturdays. And he has the most beautiful things. And I hope you'll stop by and see him. He's on social media as well. He and his wife, Kathleen, under Balanced Harvest Farm. Balanced Harvest Farm at live.com. Anything else you want our listeners to know about the beautiful Easter lily, Todd?
I think a couple quick tips from the pro will help everybody, and that is to remove the foil wrapper from the pot. That can sometimes help maintain moisture underneath the plant, and we don't necessarily want that. So after you're done decoratively displaying it, take that foil cover off, and that will help it drain out properly. Also, lilies are loaded with pollen. When you look into that flower, you may see large clusters of orange or dark yellow pollen. Take a pair of scissors, reach in there, and snip that off while you're tilting the lily over the trash can. You want that pollen to fall into the trash. If you get that pollen on something and you try to wipe it up, you'll notice you'll be smearing that pollen. If that happens, take a piece of tape and take the sticky side and just tap on that pollen, and it will be stuck to your tape, and then you can throw it away. But it's certainly, you do not want that pollen in your hair or on your furniture or on your pet. Steer clear of that. And again, when the flowers fade, pick them off, and that will encourage blooming on the blooms that are still attached to the plant.
Good pro tips for us. He's Todd on the farm, and he's our friend, and we can't wait to have him back from Balanced Harvest Farm talking about beautiful Easter lilies. Todd, thank you. Happy Easter to you and Kathleen and your wonderful family, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Great. Well, thank you again, Terry. Happy Easter to you and all your listeners.
It is 11:45. We'll take a break. Happy Easter. You're listening to The First Day, 93 WIBC.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger.
Jesus loves.
He has risen. Happy Easter, my friends. Welcome back to the first day. 93 WIBC. I'm Kylan Talley, along with Terri Stacy. It is 59. A little cloudy, but hey, happy Easter anyways. I know you're going to be enjoying it. It's 11:48. Lots to get to, especially our friend.
Joining us now is a voice that you hear, but you may not really know his name, or you just know it's a great voice. His name is Sean Matthews, and he is the production director here at WIBC and also our sister station, The Fan. And Sean, hi.
Hello.
Happy Easter.
Well, happy Easter. You know, this is my first time ever on the first day.
Oh, my gosh. And what's the first thing you ate this morning?
Oh, I'm going to say an Easter egg.
I think that's the best answer ever. Well, welcome to your first time. You are always welcome here. Do something that they might recognize.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you listen to our sister station, B105.7, you will hear me say a million times,
right.
The JMV takeover. You'll hear me say a million times, JMV. Or,
so good.
Or this hour on 93 WIBC is brought to you by the first day and Terri Stacy.
That is so good. Kylan, keep that. We want to keep that forever. As he mentioned, yes, you would also hear him on B105. When is your schedule on B105?
Well, let me tell you. I am on Hank FM.
Okay.
I'm on Hank FM on Saturday mornings. I'm on Hank FM on Sundays today.
Okay.
And then I'm on B tonight from 6 to midnight. Okay. B105.7.
B105.7. But here's the thing. So Sean is getting ready to have a birthday. It's coming up on April 25th. It's a big day.
Yes.
Not only are we celebrating his life, but something that he has kind of taken up, I think, later on in his life, which is he's kind of a cartoonist. And what happens on your birthday is so big. Tell them about you and Dennis the Menace.
So this cartooning thing happened. It was Thanksgiving 2023, and it was the day after Thanksgiving, and it's 5 a.m. I get up insanely early. So I was up at my in-laws' house and just noodling around on my iPad, and all of it, I don't know what it was. I really still don't. It was literally that lightning from the sky, and I instantly turned from like all my hobbies. Those went away, and this took over.
It did.
I still can't explain it.
But he's very good. So, it's a gift that you didn't even realize that you have, a talent. I think you didn't even know. That's right.
If you recall, I would always just I could always draw Fred Flintstone.
Right.
And I remember when I met you, I drew you a Fred Flintstone immediately. So that was the extent of it. Yeah, I mean, I could draw Fred and Barney. I never drew Wilma and Betty. I don't know why, but that was the extent of cartooning. Then this thing happened at Thanksgiving in 2023. Still can't explain it. Don't know why. But there was a show of those Comic-Con shows.
Yes.
I'm not into like superhero comics or anything like that. I'm into the classics like Beetle Bailey and Hagar the Horrible and Peanuts. And so I saw where the cartoonist who draws Snuffy Smith and the cartoonist who draws Dennis the Menace were going to be at this show in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I said to Stephanie, my wife, I'm like, it's Friday. It's late. I'm like, hey, let's go to Charlotte. She's like, what? I said, let's go to Charlotte. The guy that draws Dennis and the guy that draws Snuffy Smith are going to be there. So we did. We got in the car and drove over. And, we're used to driving all the way down to Miami, Florida. So this was nothing to drive to Florida, to drive to Charlotte, North Carolina. And so I met Marcus. Marcus Hamilton is his name. And I met John Rose, who draws Barney Google Snuffy Smith. But I kind of struck up a pretty good friendship right away with Marcus. I mean, it wasn't long before he was busted on me and I was busted on him, and it was great. And he's like, "Hey, why don't you write a few things and let me look at them?"
Wow.
So I came home, and I came home, and if you put me on task like that, I went at it. I wrote 180 jokes.
Just like that.
I don't know why. I mean, I got Dennis's voice, the way he, just the style of it. I got it down right away. So I wrote 180, and one of those jokes is going to be published on April 25th in the newspaper, on the website, all around the world. And then the next one will be on May 5th.
I mean, it's just a great story. I mean, you really perfected the characters that you draw instantly. I told you, you know what? That was alongside of being a zookeeper. If I wasn't going to be a zookeeper, I wanted to be an artist. So I thought, well, I'm going to make it. I'm going to get to Disney, and I'm going to draw characters, and it's going to be amazing. That doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all. And then I let it go, and I haven't picked up a pencil or a piece of charcoal in years and years and years, and it kind of goes away. So you just picked it up 3 years ago.
No.
Wait a minute. What'd you say?
2023 in November.
3, 4, 5. Oh, since it's only 2.
Yeah. Well, let's get technical.
2 years ago. What are you thinking? How's that feel?
Well, like I said, it was bolt of lightning out of the sky. Like everything I was interested in got shoved to the side, and this has just dominated for 2 years now. And it shows no signs of slowing. And right now, so one of the things that they talk about is to learn, you take existing work and, trace it so that you can learn how the characters are drawn. And so I'm in the middle of tracing a Peanuts Sunday page, which is huge. These things were humongous back in the day. They're not so big now.
Well, you're so amazing at it, and now you're going to be published. 2 of your Dennis the Menace jokes you wrote are going to be published in newspapers all around the world, online, April 25th on Sean's birthday, and May 5th will come the 2nd. And who's to know what will happen in the future? What do you want to do with this?
Well, first of all, Stephanie said, well, this is your wood carving hobby. This is what, instead of carving wood, like when people get older, you're carving a pencil and drawing with it. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. So, right now it's just sort of a hobby for me, but it's not. I mean, it feels like it really does feel like this is something. And what it is, I don't know, but it's leading me. I'm just going the way it's taking me.
That's what you do. That's how I got here.
Yeah.
You just keep going.
I say I'm tracing the Peanuts page, but I've drawn, without doing that, I've drawn Hagar the Horrible. I've drawn some Beetle Baileys.
You're attempting some Far Side stuff too, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. So listen, the Dennis the Menace will be online at comicskingdom.com.
Ooh.
That's where you can find it.
Okay.
If you ever have a chance to go to the Billy Ireland Cartoon Museum on the campus of Ohio State, do so. It is fantastic.
I love this kind of stuff. I really do. And I love that it happened to you. Great story. We wanted to, he's our production director. You know his voice here at WIBC, also the fan. He's on B105. He's on Hank FM. Listen, congratulations, because it's a very big deal. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, and happy Easter to everyone.
Happy Easter to you and your beautiful wife, Stephanie, and your whole family. And we'll see you soon, my friend.
All right, sounds good.
Second hour first day coming up, 93 WIBC.
It's spring selling season. The rates are down, activity is up, and now is the best time in
IHSAA.
Happy Easter! We wish you happy Easter. May God bless you. Wish you happy Easter. May God bless you.
I just love that. 59 degrees, cloudy skies. Looking at the radar, looks like maybe there's a little few rain showers just northeast of Lafayette, around Delphi, and also up to the northwest around Rensselaer and Walcott, up in that area. But for the most part here in central Indiana, around Indianapolis area, looks good. And to our south, 59 degrees if you're planning your Easter egg hunts outside. Maybe some showers, as you heard, coming through just little bits and pieces here and there throughout the day, but not so bad. It's the first day, and he is risen. And we are so glad to have you with us on this Easter Sunday. Amen is right. Terri Stacy along with Kyle and Tally. What are you doing today, little one?
You know, Sky Zone is doing a free jump day. You can get 2 free 90-minute passes from now until 5 p.m. when they close. And honestly, that sounds like a pretty good way to spend Easter, especially if it's a little bit more cloudy and gray for you.
What is that? What is that
Sky
place?
Zone? It's a trampoline park. Trampolines everywhere. You get to jump into foam pits, jump off the walls. You can run and jump on. It's very fun.
And it's free today?
You can get 2 free 90-minute passes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
Sky Zone, there's a couple. I grew up with one down in Clarksville by where my hometown is. I believe there is one up here.
I feel like that sounds familiar. We're going to go morel mushroom hunting.
It's not too cloudy for
in
that?
Morgan County. No, it's perfect. It is perfect. They're bringing them in by the barrels. The morel mushrooms, that's what we're going to hunt for rather than Easter eggs. Easter services, Easter feasts, egg hunts, all happening today. Who remembers breakfast with the Easter Bunny at L.S. Ayers in the olden days? Do you remember? Anybody? Oh, I do. When we would wear our black patent leather shoes and our little gloves and have our little Easter hats on. Oh, yes, Easter hats. Pacers, you're awesome. Game number 1, you did it.
Yes, sir.
Great fans. It just was an electric time at Gamebridge. Number 2 comes up on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Checking at the tickets, taking a look at StubHub. Looks like there's some tickets left, mostly single tickets, but there's a few up at the top that still remain. There's still a couple seats to be had that sit next to each other, but that should sell out by the end of this day, I would imagine. And let's see, what do we have? 59 degrees, cloudy skies, Kylan?
A little update. There are quite a few sky zones around here. There's one on Southport. There's a couple up north and some east. So if you're wanting to take advantage of that. And then also if you want a free photo with the Easter Bunny, Bass Pro does a free 4x6 photo.
Oh, that's
I don't know
cool.
who takes pictures
Today?
of the Easter Bunnies anymore. Yeah, today. I
saw
hey,
some
if it's
pretty
for you.
Some pictures on social media. You've seen all the scary Easter bunnies.
They're kind of creepy.
Some of them are kind of creepy. Allison was saying the same thing yesterday. Some of them are kind of creepy. They are. But yeah, go get the picture too. That would be fun.
And if you are still enjoying your Easter services, this is a common Bible verse that you are going to hear. John 20:3-10.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the one where it talks about everyone running to the tomb. And here's a fun take on it that came across my feed.
Okay.
Every Easter, the gospel reading has what I consider to be the funniest Bible quote. Jesus is risen, and Peter and some folks come to his tomb and see that the stone's been rolled away. And they're like, some shit went down, right? So they run to it, and it just goes, Peter and the other disciple went out and came to the tomb. They both ran, but the other disciple ran faster than Peter and arrived at the tomb first. All right, I don't know why you had to include that Peter got his ass beat, but all right. Except the other disciple is John, the gospel author. So it's not just him writing that Peter lost a race to a random guy. He's saying, Peter lost that race to me. I smoked his ass.
Oh, gosh.
That's a Gen Z take on a Bible verse for you. That's Egan Robinson
There you
on
go.
TikTok. Yeah, I mean, but honestly, because that's one of the only things I remember when as a kid, being told these verses. You only remember that Peter was the last one to get to the tomb. That was very specific.
Right. I just hadn't heard that version before.
No.
I'm glad you brought it to us. Thank you. I enjoy that.
Oh, the things you're missing on TikTok.
Before we take a break, I just want to mention our friend KJ. KJ is one of our, she used to work here at ZP, or not here, but at ZPL and many other places. And KJ really is such an instrumental part of Indie Neighborhood Cats and their Spring 2025 donation drive. This is their final day. If you're out and about, if you've been cleaning yesterday and organizing and that spring stuff that you do, this is the final day that they're accepting items for the big Indie Neighborhood Cat Yard sale next weekend. And this event itself fills the entire 40-truck bay at the Indianapolis Animal Care Services. So they're open today if you can, 10 to 2. It's 12. So you've got until 2 o'clock today. Last year, they raised over $15,000 and helped Indie Neighborhood Cats serve 5,700 cats. So this is such a big part of their fundraising. Drop off today at the Indianapolis Animal Care Services at 2600 South Harding. And whatever you have, household items, small appliances, home decor, small furniture, lawn and garden, tools, animal care and enrichment, sports and recreation equipment, whatever you have, musical instruments, toys, they'll take them and resell them and make some good money for what they do, which is incredible things as a cat lover. So, and my friend KJ. So hope you can help her out today. Coming up, Dr. Geraldine Rowling, who is the archivist and curator at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, the largest Roman Catholic church in North America. She is the curator of an exhibit called The Relics of Jesus. And we will hear what those relics are on this Easter Sunday after the break on 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency.
There are many holy relics associated with the life of Jesus Christ. Many were discovered centuries ago, and many are on display. Well, as a pilgrimage church, the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. maintains a treasury of relics, which include those of Jesus Christ and of his Passion. The National Shrine also preserves relics of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the woman who stood with her at the foot of the cross, and of the apostles. And on Good Friday, the National Shrine will observe exposition of the relics of the Passion of our Lord. And joining us now is Dr. Geraldine Rolling, Dame of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great and Archivist Curator Emerita at the Basilica of the National Shrine in Washington. This is such an honor to have you with us, Dr. Rolling. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
First, please tell us about the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Please tell those that don't know what this magnificent historic place is.
Being partial as I am, it is a magnificent, grand and noble basilica dedicated to Mary under her title of the Immaculate Conception. And the reason for that title is because in 1847, the American bishops had gathered in Baltimore and chose Mary under this title to be the patroness of the United States. So we are a national shrine, and we are the patronal church of the United States. It is a place where all of the joys and the sorrows of the nation are remembered in prayer and devotion. And people from not only around the United States, but from around the world come and pray here. What makes us unique, and we truly are unique, you will find no other church in the world that has what we have. While we are not an apparition site, nor do we have miraculous images, what we do have is a world of Marian devotion under one roof. We have devotions from around the world, and each chapel or oratory carries the same graces and benefits as if you were to go to that spot in Europe or in Asia. You get the same graces and benefits if you do the same prayers and fulfill the same obligations. The other thing is we are very much like a demographics map in the respect that each chapel, particularly those from various ethnic groups, let you know by their dedication date exactly when that group came to the United States and had achieved enough stability to be able to donate a chapel. And everybody that donates a chapel, they want to do that because they want to bring or share their devotion. They want to share it with the rest of us in the United States. If we can go back to the relics of the Passion, let me clarify one thing. The only relics of Jesus that we have per se are those from the Passion and his death. Normally, a first-class relic, the best you can have, is considered to be an actual particle of the person. We don't have particles of Jesus. So these are all items that were part of pretty much the 14 stations of the cross. But the apostles and Mary, we don't even have a particle of Mary because she also was assumed into heaven under our tradition. But what we do have are a particle from her veil or something from her home in Ephesus where she stayed after the crucifixion. The tradition of the veneration of the relics of Jesus began around the 3rd or 4th century in Jerusalem when the whole pilgrimage practice started to take off a little bit, shall we say, and people would travel from around the world being Europe at the time, to go to Jerusalem and to take part in this. Now, you got to remember that if you went on pilgrimage in those days, chances of you returning home were very small. Some writers called it a death sentence because they talk about brigands and robbers and whatnot who would accost you on your way. And everything was, for the average person, it was on foot. So, it took a while. And the best account we have of the first veneration of the relics in Jerusalem is by a woman from Spain, and her name is Egeria. Some scholars refer to her as Etheria, but she was reportedly to be either a wealthy laywoman or a nun. But it is her account, a rather detailed account, and it's available. Read it online as a PDF, but it is her account that gives us the most detail of the first time the veneration of the relics of Jesus' passion and death occurs. I have to say, the one part of the veneration that I find just touches me in a way that I cannot explain. Their practice was the titulus, which is the title that you always see at the top of the cross, which explains why Jesus is being crucified. And so in the Latin, we use the term titulus. And after the crucifixion, when they take the body down, any remnants or things that they don't need anymore, they bury. The Romans would bury. And they found St. Helena, the mother of Constantine, finds the titulus. And that's one of the objects that was kept for veneration. And the Bishop of Jerusalem would bring out the titulus, and they would put it on a table, and then the people would line up. And this is what I absolutely loved. They would press the titulus to their forehead so that it was like to impress a memory upon you, so that you would remember this moment.
This is Dr. Geraldine Rowling. She's Dame of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great, also archivist and curator emerita at the Basilica of the National Shrine in Washington. And on Good Friday, they have the exposition of the Passion relics. It's because they have so many, a treasure trove of relics as it relates to Jesus Christ and his passion. The relics that you do have, I want to hear about them, and I want to hear about you personally as you experienced seeing these relics for the first time.
The relics we have, pretty much go with every step of the Stations of the Cross, except we do have what is said to be from the table, a stone or something from the table of the Last Supper, or a stone from the Garden of Gethsemane, something from the pillar where Jesus was scourged, the purple garment that he was clothed in, a spine from the crown of thorns. Now, let me tell you about that.
Okay.
That's interesting. People always think of our little rose bushes, and that's why I use the word, it's not a thorn, it's a spine. And when I say the word spine, you have a different impression in your mind.
A little bigger, longer.
Exactly. That is it, exactly. And these things were very long. We have a spine, we have stones from Calvary, shavings from the spike or the nails. Again, we say nails, but they really are more like spikes. A little bit of the sponge that was used to give Jesus a drink of vinegar, the reed that was used to hoist it up, the lance that was thrust into his side, and the burial cloths and bindings. Now, when I say that, people have asked me, do you have particles from the Shroud of Turin? I said, no, because the Jewish burial tradition used different cloths and bindings. The ones that we have are the pieces that were placed, the cloths that were placed over his face and bound over his face, which are separate and different than the Shroud of Turin. There was a different burial practice at the time. So those are some of the things from Jesus' passion and death.
It is 11:26, and more with Dr. Geraldine Rowling. Hang on for us, Dr. Rowling, Dame of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great and archivist curator emerita at the Basilica of the National Shrine in Washington, D.C. We'll talk more after the news on 93 WIBC.
If you suffer from burning, tingling,
calling us out from the grave like Lazarus.
He has risen. Jesus, the reason for the season. Welcome back to the first day, 93 WIBC. I'm Kylan Talley with Terri Stacy. If you are just joining us, we're talking with Dr. Geraldine Rolling, Dame of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great, and archivist and curator emerita at the Basilica of the National Shrine in Washington, D.C. This national shrine, it keeps a treasury of relics, which include Jesus and his Passion, which were on exposition on Good Friday. And before the news, Dr. Rolling, thank you for joining us again. You were talking about each of the relics of Jesus that this national shrine has. Terry?
Is there any particular piece that has truly moved you when you saw it? Something that, one of the relics that you have, which are so precious that you have them?
Yes, there is. And oddly, it's not a relic in the true sense that people generally think. Well, actually, there are two. And this one, I looked at it, and all of these things have a little tag with a little inscription, calligraphy inscription of what it is. And this one is written in very old Dutch, which is curious. And it basically says that it's an oil lamp from the monastery of St. Catherine's in Sinai. And that is the oldest, reported to be the oldest existing monastery in the world. And it is believed to be on the site of the burning bush.
Oh, wow.
And there is an oratory there called the Oratory of the Burning Bush, where there is an eternal flame that is there. This little oil lamp, it looks like a little teardrop, and it has this rather lovely gold netting around it so you could carry it. It's no bigger than maybe 1.5 inches, but there's still oil in it.
Wow.
And there is still a wick in it. And the practice was that you would go to St. Catherine's in Sinai, and you would buy one of these little things, and you would light the oil lamp and bring it home with you. So you were bringing the light of God home with you.
Goodness, I love that story.
Yeah.
Which relic do you think that visitors really tend to connect with the most?
I think it depends on their particular devotion. Everybody always, during the veneration of these relics, they always immediately touch those from the Passion of Jesus, and particularly cross. And then if they have particular devotion to one of the apostles or Mary, then they always touch that. And then everybody tries to touch every one. And I encourage people, while the venerating is important, I said more than that. This is supposed to be a vehicle that leads you into prayer. It's not supposed to be the end or the most important thing. You have to think of saints and all of this as prayer partners, because we do not worship the saints. We venerate them, which is different. We worship Jesus. We don't even worship Mary. We venerate Mary. But Jesus and God and the Holy, that Trinity is the only thing that we worship. Everything else is just veneration. So you think of them as prayer partners, that when you are in need of prayer, you ask them to help you pray.
Again, we've got Dr. Rolling with us, and I've kept her far too long, but how do you I promise this will be the last question.
Okay.
How do you preserve these relics?
They are all wrapped and contained in very special boxes with very special paper. Most of everything has to be acid-free, so that nothing contaminates the original. And I keep them separate. I do not let them, one touch another. If you've ever seen any of those, documentaries they do. In fact, I was watching, it was on Turin. They were doing some of the stuff on Turin, and I looked at it and I said, that's what I wear. That's what I do.
It was fascinating. I had the opportunity to talk to one of those scientists that was part of the team that did some of the research and study on the Shroud of Turin, and it was an incredible conversation, much like I'm having with you. It's just so fascinating what that was like for him. And he was not a believer going in. until he spent days and days and days in front of it and researching and studying. And it was just an incredible conversation.
I also did some work with the relics of Cardinal Fantuan, whose cause is moving forward, but he was imprisoned in Vietnam and in solitary confinement for years. And I had quite an experience touching his items and using his items. But when it comes to relics, in the end, for me and for all of my, like on Good Friday, all the ministers who help out with the veneration, they all walk away with the same impression. It is the faith of the people coming to this moment. I don't even know how to explain it. It is so intense and it is so intimate. I mean, it is phenomenal. And our people stand there and they protect or they guard the reliquary, but they are also there to silently offer prayer with these people who are coming. And these people are coming seeking solace, seeking comfort, seeking healing, seeking solutions to problems. And it is their faith. I mean, it gave me a whole new understanding of that story about the woman who seeks to touch Jesus's hem of his garment. And I watch these people, and I am just brought to my knees by the depth of their faith.
Dr. Geraldine Rowling, Dame of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great, activist and curator emerita at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. I highly recommend you check nationalshrine.org to take tours, and getting to Washington, D.C. would be such an amazing trip to see the Basilica. And it is such a pleasure to have you with us, and I hope you'll come back and see us again.
Thank you for having me, Terry. This has been a pleasure of mine, and I've enjoyed speaking with you. They can also attend our worship services online during Triduum.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and blessings to you, too. Bye-bye.
62 degrees and some bright skies out there on Monument Circle. It is 1240. Terri Stacy along with Kylan Talley. And before we take a break, I just wanted to mention this has kind of been a story about Frenchies. Do you have a Frenchie, a little Frenchie dog? Because neighbors here in Indianapolis believe that there is a theft ring responsible for snatching up nearly a dozen French bulldogs from front yards.
They're stealing the dogs?
They're stealing dogs now. They believe the same thieves. Some of these neighbors believe that these are the same thieves that have been targeting Frenchies. They've been doing this with other breeds as well in years past. But they're being stolen from the northeast and east sides of the city. There have been, at least as we mentioned, 11 Frenchies missing since March. They're picking the small dogs sometimes in the street or right out of your yard. In fact, last Saturday, there was a gentleman named Chris Radford, I believe, two Frenchies, Charlie and Murphy. They disappeared from near his front yard as he was preparing for his kid's birthday party. Neighbor comes out, tells him, I think the DoorDasher just put your two dogs in the car just now. So watch your little dogs, because now we got to think about this too, about people just stealing your dogs right out of the yard.
You know, I was always so worried about them stealing my food as they're delivering it for DoorDash, but now, no, that?
Yeah.
What
now
are
they're
we,
taking
come
your
on,
little dogs.
guys?
Yeah. Part of our families, the dogs. But they're taking them. I suppose they're selling them. I don't know what they're doing, but there's just something to be aware of. If you've got a French bulldog or really any little dog right now, it looks like they're just snatching them up right out of the yards. It is 12:41. When we come back, we've got
Food news. We're going to taste some more interesting peeps, and I have some food deals, some Easter and 420 food deals for you.
There you go. That's next on the first day. Glad you're here. Happy Easter to you all. 93 WIBC.
The Pothole.
Happy Easter to each and every one of you. Whatever you're doing today, thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time, and we're grateful, truly grateful. It is 12:46. Before we get to some food news, how about this story of the 18-year-old kid that was arrested after breaking into a home in Hendricks County and then falling asleep on the floor on Saturday?
No.
Homeowner wakes up. There's a guy in the office on the floor. 18-year-old doesn't even remember how I got there.
That was truly the quote at the end.
Yeah.
I swear, I don't know how I ended up here.
I don't either.
I was out with some friends, and then I'm here. Yikes. That is not a fun night.
I know.
Happy Easter weekend, Mom. I will not be with you for Easter.
In other news, I just want to mention this because I have such a heart for Tuttle's Orchard and also for slowing down on progress. I'm sorry. But here we go. Tuttle Orchards, they've been around for some 95 years. Every time I go, there's buses there with kids. It's such a great place for field trips and for showing kids a little bit of farm life in Hancock County. Well, just like every place else here in Central Indiana and beyond, we got to have growth, right? So they're trying to understand more clearly why this new data center that is would sit on 755 acres in Hancock County in Greenfield. Why that this is a good reason. You know, what can we? They're working together to try to figure out how to make this work. But this is such a family-friendly destination, and part of that is that farm vibe, right? Mm-hmm. But you take this and you put this big, giant facility there, then it kind of takes away from that experience. So coming up on May 27th, they've got a Hancock County Planning Commission. They're going to review the proposal. They won't make any decision until the public hearing on May 27th. And Tuttle's has a petition that you can sign, or somebody maybe put this petition together on behalf of Tuttle's. I don't know. I just know that I wanted to sign it to say we're here for you, and what can we do to help?
It was the same conversation with Lebanon, getting all that development, because people do move away from the city to be away from development.
Thank you,
so
Kylan.
It's understandable. Growing up in the country, surrounded by cornfields.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, because we wanted to be there, but now everybody's taking that away from us. Big counties and towns and cities all around us are taking that away from us. And so, anyway, I'm here to fight with you, Tuttles. Fight for you, Tuttles, and I know so many others are too. But we have to wait until May 27th. I've seen how some towns are able to keep this at bay. It makes me think of Wilson's Farm Market, right? That everybody came out for Wilson's and supported them and worked together to make that at least slow down for now. And I think that's what we're hoping here for Tuttle's Orchard, to just slow this progress down a little bit if we can. But the truth be known, I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
Inevitably,
it's going to happen. And I just, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm hoping there's something we can do here for you, Tuttles. But again, I think I'm wondering if that decision hasn't already been made.
At least to make it a discussion.
At least make it a discussion.
Both sides.
And listen to what people have to say. It's a community, right? You're supposed to be on behalf of a community or a town. At least listen to what people say, and hopefully you'll listen and hear. And again, I know I sound like that old lady. Stay off my porch.
Get off my lawn.
I've just watched that growth in Hancock County around me, and so much of farms are gone, and it changes your heart a little bit. You want to seek elsewhere. All right, now I've taken up too much of Kylan's food news time, but.
One of the best things about the country is getting to see the night sky and being able to see all the stars, right? Well, this week, before sunrise on Friday, you might be able to see a rare smiley face, astronomical alignment, that's going to be making an appearance. Did you hear about that?
No. In what part of the sky am I looking?
You're going to be looking eastern. Yep.
Eastern sky.
So Venus and Saturn
directly east
are going to be the stars you're going to be looking at. They'll be right above the thin crescent moon and make a smiley face.
Oh,
quite literally,
beautiful.
a little smiley face.
Maybe this is one I'll get to see. I hope so. That's fun. Every time I try to look in the sky for something big is going to happen. It's either cloudy or I miss it somehow or another. But okay, what time are we
says
doing
the best viewing is 5:30.
5:30.
So set your alarm right now.
Or in the morning?
5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m.
Right before
Look
sunrise.
to the east.
Yep.
Got it.
Hopefully these storms stay clear and your horizon will be clear to be able to see it. Just look for the crescent moon.
That's fun.
They do say binoculars are very helpful in those cases, but yeah.
Okay.
Either way.
Got it.
Hey, happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter. Are you going to play the food news
Lord,
music?
lift your high. You know what?
Not yet?
It's so funny to me that Easter is also on 420 today because
Oh, yes, it is.
the Lord is not the only one rising high into the sky today. Do you know why 420 is the day
Called for where that came
celebrating?
from?
Yeah.
It came from, I heard long ago that it was from a high school in California that at 420, that was the signal that school was out and it was
after
time to go.
school.
Yeah. time to light up a marijuana cigarette.
There were some other theories too that 420 is the radio code that police use for indicating marijuana. So maybe
that's it.
Some maybe have the hypothesis that it's based off of Bob Dylan's song "Rainy Day Woman," number 12 and 35.
Everybody must get stoned.
Okay, 12 and
I'd not
35.
heard that, but all right.
A product of multiplying 12 and 35 is 420. So maybe, but no, it probably was time 420. You're out of school, ready to get on to other things. Okay, let's get on to other things. Into food news.
Let's go. Let's go.
I mentioned 420 because those are most of the food deals today for your Easter. Jack in the Box has a $4.20 Pineapple Express shake today and tomorrow. Popeye's chicken sandwich, $4.20.
Today only?
Mm-hmm.
420 celebration.
Carl's Jr. Snack Stash, $4.20. Some other deals besides just your $4.20. 1 cent cheeseburger at Burger King with a $1 purchase if you're a member. That's not too shabby.
No.
Get like some dollar fries and then a 1 cent cheeseburger.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. And then Pizza Hut. They have BOGO free large pizzas. So buy a large pizza and you'll get a large pizza for free. You just need the code FREELARGE. There you go. I think that's pretty nice for those who are not going to be doing your Easter suppers. Some people in the YouTube comments on our live stream, 93 WIBC.
I always forget it's there.
That's
Everybody,
okay.
are there people there?
We're doing our thing.
Okay.
Kathleen and LD were talking in the chat about how they don't do Easter dinners, so maybe this is a good option for you, is getting some BOGO pizzas. Having some for the whole week? Sounds good to me. You want to mark your calendar for Saturday. It's National Pretzel Day. You can get free original or cinnamon pretzels at Annie Ann's, and then also a free original pretzel at Wetzel's Pretzels from 3 to close.
Love it.
I go to the Greenwood, what is it called?
Greenwood?
Yeah, the Park Mall.
Greenwood Park Mall.
Man, we grew up at the Green Tree Mall.
She might be. You think she's high?
Okay, well, that's a lot of green right there. I go there and get a free Annie Ann's and a free Wetzel's. It's a great day.
Yeah.
Personal preference. Okay, we have a mysterious mix of Easter Peeps to try out. Earlier we tried a Dr. Pepper and a watermelon ones. I wasn't a fan of the watermelon.
Cotton
it was
candy.
way too sour.
There's cotton candy. I do want to try this one. This one's got a chocolate coating on it. This Peep has a chocolate coating, and this is the
that one
original.
is just original with some chocolate coating, but we also have a s'mores with chocolate coating, which
good.
theoretically has graham cracker in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the s'mores Peep.
Yeah, me too. The s'mores
I really
is actually,
do.
it does have graham cracker in it.
That's good. And so is the chocolate covered Peep. You guys, you're going to be able to get these for like 75 cents tomorrow.
You sure will. We have a cookies and cream. We have a party cake. Please don't die. Please don't go. Terry. I'm so sorry. You keep dealing with yourself.
Oh my goodness.
The marshmallow, you should chew it quite a bit more. Maybe this is a choking hazard.
People have
for your
actually
little
died.
I'm Terry. I'm so sorry. I didn't. This was supposed to be celebratory.
Because I'll show you.
Terry, I'm so sorry. So maybe don't just eat these regularly. Maybe you should put these over the fire and use them for an actual s'more.
Maybe you could do that. I don't know what it is, but
Terry will not be partaking in a peep eating contest.
We're gonna go now.
That's not for her.
I'll be okay, but I think we have to go now. Listen, everybody.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in and joining us today, Kylan. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for the peeps.
Even though we almost
Denny will be back next week. Enjoy this beautiful holiday, Easter Sunday.
I hope you enjoy your ham leftovers, however you use them. If you're making
ham and
a
beans
soup.
and cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
Ham salad.
Yep. Maybe even some roasted deviled potatoes.
Ham and eggs.
Or even some roasted carrot dip.
Harry dip. That sounds good.
Happy Easter, friends.
Happy Easter. Thanks for listening. News is next.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why